presentations in this plenary session, they're going to be focused on what we do. Not on how we do it, that's going to come this afternoon, but this morning I'll focus on what are the kinds of things we're doing. This will be followed by breakout sessions. We'll reconvene here to hear back from the breakouts. There'll be a panel on assessment. We'll have a buffet lunch, and then after lunch, second round of lightning presentations and breakouts, this time focused on how do we do it. After the breakout reports, we're going to have a planning session because tomorrow is the unconference, and we all together, we're going to set the agenda for that to make sure that we have the opportunity to take advantage of what happens today. And then we'll talk more about that later today. Tomorrow morning, I will note that we're starting this morning. Breakfast was at 8:30. Session started at 9. We're backing it up earlier, half an hour tomorrow, because we end earlier tomorrow. So it's going to start breakfast at 8. The session will start at 8:30, and we're kicking it off with an address by Daryl Pines from the University of Maryland on the state of engineering education. And so to kick off the breakout sessions, it's my pleasure to introduce Ken Jarboe, who's Senior Program Officer at the National Academy. He's staff lead for this project, and he's going to be MC for the lightning round.
Thank you, Leah. I'm going to be the ringmaster for this 3-ring circus that we're going to try to pull off here for the lightning rounds. You were all sent the ground rules. 2 minutes, 1 slide. We have lights up on the front. Green light is you're okay. It's on the podium. Yellow light is you've got 30 seconds left, and red light is you're done. And at the end of when the red light goes on, we will take your slide down. And I don't have a hook, but I will interrupt you if you keep going after the red light is on.
Everyone can see the lights, and so they will.
Everyone can see the lights, and hopefully the speakers can see the lights. So let's kick this off with Chris Ward. Nothing like being first. This first 4 are part of the breakout session on developing partnerships for innovation in education. So, Chris, you're on.
Thank you. I'm Chris Ward. Oh, stop the timer.
Although they signed up for a breakout, this is fluid.
Right. We had you sign up for breakouts, but we've changed some of the breakout sessions from what was on the registration. You don't have to go to the breakout session that you signed up for. We would like you to. Hopefully you will remember what it is that was of interest, but the purpose of the lightning rounds is to get the discussions going, so we want you to hear the lightning rounds before you go to the breakouts. So go ahead, and we will have a sign up that has the breakouts on. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
I'm Chris Ward with SME and Tooling U SME, Marketing and Business Development Manager. I'm going to talk briefly about our certification programs and assessments that are used as end-of-program assessments in higher education. And we're going to focus on our Certified Manufacturing Technologist. The CMFGT, or T as we call it, is utilized in both 2- and 4-year engineering technology, manufacturing technology, manufacturing engineering, and mechanical engineering programs. The T is built on an industry-driven standard, a competency framework, and a body of knowledge that is reflective of entry-level requirements for engineering and manufacturing technologists. The program is overseen by industry and academia, and it has a higher weighting towards the industry requirements because that's what academia wants. And we do provide the academic market with a number of optional resources to help their students prepare for this assessment. Our T exam is not only an effective student evaluation, it's a tool that provides insight into the program itself, because we provide very robust reporting both on individual exam performance, but we also provide reporting for the groups so that the instructors, the deans, department heads can actually see the knowledge performance of the students as they go through when they take this as part of a capstone. The type of information helps with continuous improvement of programs so that the students graduating meet industry-driven requirements. It supports ABET accreditation requirements. And students who pass the T exam also get an industry credential, which differentiates to employers. And because it has a continuing education requirement, it's an opportunity for schools to also engage with students after graduation. And most importantly, because manufacturing has a PE exemption, a lot of students who go into manufacturing don't take the FE. So this is a viable industry-driven alternative. Thank you. 6 seconds
Thank you.
for the record.
You've set the bar high. Okay, Randy?
Oh, wow, you can see this one. Hi, my name is Randy Rosenbluth, and I oversee the Collegiate Leadership Institute at the Society of Women Engineers. So the objective of the Collegiate Leadership Institute, CLI for short, is to provide cutting-edge leadership and career development training for collegiate and graduate students in technology and engineering. So the CLI will include the following: a school year-long program for 125 students. Next year, we will be expanding this to our local conferences and also to our India conference. So what is involved with this? The school year-long program and the local and the India will be modeled along these lines. Will include the following: 125 participants, pre- and post-conference online learning. Our centerpiece, though, is at our annual conference, which includes a conference within a conference, 3 halftime live learning events, 2 webinars throughout the year to solidify and continue learning. We match participants with a mentor throughout the school year. There's also an opportunity for a small group of the CLI to get career coaching with a professional career coach. And we offer a $150 stipend to defer costs for transportation. So why do we do this? The purpose of this institute is multi-layered. We want these women to launch successfully into the workplace. We also want to create a leadership pipeline within 5 to 15 years for these ladies to become SWE board members, presidents, and other roles in the organization. And finally, we want them to be engaged throughout their engineering careers in SWE. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Bill, you're up, and then Phil, you're on deck. And please, I forgot to mention that we're not doing questions here, but hold your questions for the breakout sessions. That's the time to ask questions.
Good morning. Thank you, Ken. My name is Bill Wepfer, and I'm wearing both my ASME hat and my Georgia Tech hat. Roughly 10 years ago, ASME established a task force in the spirit of the NAE 2020 initiative to address and ask the question, what can ASME and the mechanical engineering profession do to freshen up and continue to make its curricula relevant for students over the next 20, 25 years? We surveyed an extensive number of people, not just department heads, but lots of hiring managers, lots of industry leaders. And the single issue that we had the strongest and most violent agreement on was this issue of how do we convey an understanding of codes and standards in the undergraduate programs. I sometimes refer to this as one of our forever problems. And so you can see the slide. We've established task forces. We are developing modules. They will roll out later this year, and we will provide them to our mechanical engineering faculty and department heads. I would leave you with 2 questions. One is philosophical. How do we change the mindset of codes and standards from the old traditional Baltimore Catechism, you can't do this, you can't do that, to a more positive context that standards and codes facilitate solving grand challenges and economic development? The second issue that has to be addressed is if you look at this chart, we have no problem finding industry people. We have a hard time finding faculty people. And I will simply point out that my 2 Georgia Tech colleagues are non-tenure track academic professionals. I could not run the program without them. So what is the mix of faculty, talent, and credentials to be successful in running this program or addressing this issue? Thank you.
Great, thank you.
And where's the clicker? Up here. Oh, this is it? Okay, good. Okay, assignment. You have 2 seconds. Manufacturing, what word or words does that evoke? 1, 2. My name is Phil, and I'm a chemical engineer, and chemical engineers do a lot of manufacturing. They tend not to think of words. They tend not to think of themselves as manufacturing. They think of different words. even though they think of process industries, and of course, but we're very into processes and products. Now, the reality is that there's also a great deal of bipartisan support for manufacturing in this country in terms of jobs, in terms of more manufacturing. So the Manufacturing USA Institutes were created through DOED, NIST, Department of Energy, and most of them are centered on a particular product or processing technology. AICHE got involved with two different manufacturing institutes because, well, for one thing, as president, I wanted to help change that culture, and a lot of people felt the same way, to recognize that with the smart manufacturing, that's very much cross-disciplinary. It's talking about different topics that are involved in getting information. So it's advanced sensors, it's data handling, it's analytics, it's business decisions, again, across many disciplines, across many industries, a natural place to get our faculty involved and to get our industries involved and get them involved with each other. With RAPID, RAPID is an institute that AICHE is the organization that is the sponsor of that, with a large number of participants in process intensification area. Again, why are we in it? A big part of the reason is because our impact on undergraduate education has to be through influencing the faculty. We have regulatory organizations, accrediting organizations, but ultimately it is a decentralized process. We rely on individual faculty to do the right thing. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. We're going to move on to the breakout session on promoting diversity. Carl, you're up, and Glenda, you're on deck.
Good morning. Everyone knows the tremendous demand for engineers, and yet what most people don't know is that only about a third of African Americans who begin engineering complete in 6 years. So we're leaving talent on the table, much like leaving Tom Brady on the bench. So National Society of Black Engineers a couple of years ago announced a brand new strategy, a 2025 strategy to triple the number of engineers this country produces who are African American, working with colleges and universities. We identified 9 exemplar institutions. Many of the institutions are in the room here, and we understood what they are doing that are effective. We also scoured the literature to understand what are the factors, what are the specific programs that exemplar institutions are doing in producing more underrepresented engineers. And we produced a publication, Paving the Way, Engagement Strategies for Improving the Success of Underrepresented Minority Students. And Greg Washington, who's here, distributed that to the Engineering Dean's Council a little over a year ago. But ExxonMobil, who funded this research, wanted us to go farther, and we developed, as a result, in partnership with Ashok and ASCE, a toolkit, a 170-page document that operationalized the 9 engagement strategies that we've identified and the exemplars identified are the most important strategies that are put in place to increase the success of these populations. We hope that the toolkit will not just be something that sits on the shelf, but be part of a comprehensive strategy that we'll roll out. It's going to be available online and is currently available in print now, but we want to add technical assistance with consultants, training as part of pre-conference workshops in ASCE and NSBE, as well as grants programs to increase the capacity of colleges and universities to implement that. We'll look forward to talking with you a little more later today. Thank you.
Glenda and Melissa, you're on deck.
Good morning. I'm Glenda LaRue, Chief Strategy Officer with WEPAN, here to talk about TechAid, Transforming Engineering Culture to Advance Inclusion and Diversity, led by WEPAN, ASME, and Purdue. It is a 3-year project with 5 mechanical engineering departments across the country. The reason that we are doing it is to equip these faculty teams of 5, to create and sustain inclusive department cultures for faculty, staff, and students. What is it? It's an intensive professional development curriculum that's based on research literature on inclusion, diversity, team building, team-based change leadership, and strategies and process, specifically in academia. It has been done through virtual learning communities, 4 2-day workshops, interactions with subject matter experts, and department projects. The anticipated outcomes of the project were to have a more responsible and informed faculty and academic citizenry regarding diversity and inclusion. We wanted to see academic change, climate and culture improvements, better department leadership, policies and practices, and increased collaboration. And the results that we've shown, that we've realized here after 2 years, is that for the most part, TechAid's logic model outcomes in the 4 spheres of individuals, teams, departments, and broader were, for the most part, met, and they were really instigated through individual growth. Our longitudinal studies have shown notable shifts in their knowledge for change-making, their comfort and knowledge with D&I concepts and being able to share those even with people who are resistant, and making and planning and actually starting to implement change plans. And so we've seen these ripple effects from individuals move out to teams and departments and eventually broader. So we will be doing a change model leadership development here next month, and that will lead us to a place where we can disseminate this more broadly. Thank you.
We're switching now to the breakout session on fostering interdisciplinary engineering education. Alyssa?
Good morning. The engineering competency model serves as a guide for the development of professionals in the engineering workforce. It promotes an understanding of the skill sets and competencies that are essential to educate and train a globally competitive workforce. Now, the model has many audiences, but crucial to today's discussions are educators, guidance counselors, and students. The model can inform educators in the development of competency-based curricula, assist guidance counselors in the development of resources for career exploration, and help students gain a clear understanding of the skills and abilities that are necessary to not only enter but advance in the engineering profession. As you can see, the model uses a pyramid to depict the required key competencies. The first one is personal effectiveness, and it includes interpersonal skills, integrity, and an interest in lifelong learning. Tier 2, academic excellence, includes communication and writing skills, along with science and technology. Tier 3, workplace skills, includes teamwork, creative thinking, and business fundamentals. And Tier 4 is industry-wide technical competencies and includes not only the fundamentals of engineering, but also such topics as professional ethics. In Tier 5, it is an opportunity to include discipline-specific competencies, which a couple of societies are in the process of developing now. As part of this effort, we have a 2-minute video, a PowerPoint presentation with speaker's guide, and a handout that are available for faculty, guidance counselors, and others who work with individuals who are entering and in the STEM profession. Please feel free to use these resources. Our website is up there, and they're located on that website page. And in addition, we have a handout at the registration table with more information about the competency model and the specific competencies listed on the back. Thank you very much.
Libby? And then Nicole is on deck.
Hi, my name is Libby Jones. I'm the Director of Education for Engineers Without Borders USA. The overarching goal of our education program is to provide education and training for our members and volunteers that allows them to best work with our community partners both here in the U.S. and around the world. I'm focusing my short talk here on one part of our larger education program, our Global Classroom program. The 2 goals of the Global Classroom are, 1, to provide an understanding of skills and tools needed for development and humanitarian engineering, and 2, to allow the participants to apply these skills and tools to help provide engineering services specifically for small rural farms in Costa Rica under the supervision of experienced engineers. What you see on the slide on our Global Classroom in Costa Rica at Earth University are quotes from participants that we collected as part of our assessment of the 2016 offering. We're using the assessment feedback from participants, the instructors, and the farmers to improve our Global Classroom, which hit about 50 people. And we take this and use that to help guide our development of our online modules that will hit a much larger population of about 5,000 people. The global classroom allows us to better understand what the participants learn and how that compares to what we expect them to learn. This in turn helps us to better design online courses that are able of reaching a much wider audience with lower resource commitment. The ultimate goal of our larger education program, again, is to provide education and training for our members and volunteers that allows them to best work with our communities around the world. Thank you.
Nicole? Now we're switching to raising awareness of engineering disciplines. And Bob is on deck.
Well, hello, my name is Nicole Campana. I'm the director of ASM Materials Education Foundation. We are the philanthropic arm of ASM International. I'm going to talk quickly about our program. So our vision is to excite young people in material science and engineering careers. Our vision is a workforce skilled in science, technology, engineering, and math through hands-on discovery-based learning. Our signature program is the materials camps for teachers and for students. We conduct workshops that strengthen curricula in science, technology, engineering, and math, and it is aligned with NGSS standards. Our Teachers Camp program is an idea-generating workshop that shows educators new ways to make teaching math and core science principles more exciting and accessible to students. The student camps are for high school students with strong abilities in math and science who have completed their sophomore and junior years. 86% of our student camp participants enroll in science and engineering degree programs in college. The one thing we haven't captured is how many actually complete the program. The majority of our 70-plus camps are held at universities where undergrad students are encouraged and get involved as volunteer mentors, team leaders, lab assistants, and occasionally organizers of the camps. The ASM Materials Camp for teachers and students are held across North America as well as in Canada, France, India, and Brazil. These are 5-day camps. They could be residential, requiring teachers to stay overnight. Same with students. Commuter, which is drive up, or mini camps. We have a lot of those in conjunction with our events. We have partnerships with NAE organization as well as the Forging Foundation, and we have somewhat of a partnership with ACERS. So we look forward to growing those in the future. And we have close alignment with our university partners. And Glenn Dane from Ohio State University has seen more students going into the larger, better-known programs like mechanical engineering and has noticed that they are becoming bridge builders between disciplines. Also, students from the career centers are becoming much-needed employees in the increasingly robust manufacturing sector. Thank you.
Thank you. Bob?
Good morning. I'm Bob Fine. I'm the Executive Director of the American Nuclear Society. We have approximately 10,500 members, and about 14% of our entire membership is students. It's a growing segment of our membership, and in fact, members under the age of 35 are the largest growing segment of our membership. And so for the ANS, that represents the future not only of our society, but of course of various nuclear professions and industries, and including nuclear engineering. So as part of a variety of activities that we have for our student members is a annual student conference. We have student sections at 52 universities across the country. Students who are involved not only in nuclear engineering programs but other nuclear-related programs can join these sections. They get together, they network with each other, they share information with each other. They have faculty come in and others as guest speakers to monthly or bi-monthly events that they hold. So one of these student sections every year hosts the annual student conference. It takes place at the school at which the student section is located. And the conference participants are, as you could well understand, mostly students, but it also includes professors and others. Two things happen at the student conference, or three things really. One is the students get an opportunity to present research that they've done on topics of interest, working with their professors. The second thing that goes on is that the students, in fact, organize the conferences, even get involved in the logistics. Third thing that happens is they get to network with each other and job recruiters. So it's a great opportunity for them to learn from each other and maybe get a job at the end of their school time. Thank you.
Thank you. And Chris.
Good morning. My name is Chris Chuker. I'm the Director of Education at SAE International, and want to start from a high level. Is our outreach is the pre-K to 16 range for students. We service approximately 120,000 students a year through our integrated STEM experiences, starting at the pre-K level through 16. To talk about the Collegiate Design Series, really focusing on the undergraduate educational approach. One of the things that we do through our particular programming, we have, you can see the representation on the screen here of a Baja vehicle. We have the Formula SAE series, we have the Aero Design series, the Super Mileage, and a new particular challenge that we're launching this year, Auto Drive, which is a fully autonomous student competition for university interaction. One of the things that we really focus on is an integrated approach to STEM education. So whether you're in a third grade classroom or a university setting, when you come out and you see the Collegiate Design Series experience, you're going to see a team of students from a highly prestigious university. And you're not only going to see engineering students, you're not only going to see system engineer students, you're going to have people walk up to you that are marketing professionals, that are finance professionals, that are on this team, because we're really trying to focus on that integrated experience to delivering this whole initiative for the students. We know that that's how they need to work once they're out into the workplace. So that's the setting that we're trying to set up in the university setting. So if you look at the profiles in engineering that ASCE publishes every year, 100% of the top 100 schools that they're ranking as university degree granting in engineering and technologies participate in the Collegiate Design Series programming. I highly encourage anybody who is interested, would like to see this, come on out. We'll give you a tour and show you around, and let's join forces and do this together. Thanks.
Thank you, and thank you to all the presentators to sticking with the rules. Thank you very much. We didn't have to use the hook at all. Let me just point out that there's a lot more that's going on. These were the folks who volunteered to make presentations. So it wasn't that we went out and necessarily scanned and picked and choose the ones we wanted, but these are the folks who volunteered to step up. So thank you again very much. And now we have